Seriously, look at this. It's the dumbest thing I've ever done. All right, guys, so here's the plan today. We are fishing super deep water in a lake in the middle of summertime, hot weather. Water temperatures are up, upper 80s, 90 degrees, and we're gonna be putting out some chicken, putting out some cut bait, and just seeing if we can catch some of these suspended fish in the middle of the day in the heat of summer. Boom, got one going. He swam off to the side with it. Heck yeah. Take him any way we can get him. Got him on the turn here. Kind of going through an area. Decided to make a big kind of loop. Going up a little shallower water, but keeping the baits at the same depth, just to see if any of this makes a difference. Another good fish, another good fish. Get him up here. He got an air bladder hook, it looks like. Stomach took one. Took kind of deep. Good looking fish though. Get his whisker. Nice. Good looking dark color. Nice looking fish. Let's get him back alive. Guys, as soon as I released that fish, I turned around and seen one of this free lines going. I'll tell you all what I got stacked up out here in a second. This is a free line out the back with some chicken on it. It's basically a main line tied to a swivel and a piece of leader, 12, 18 inches, doesn't really matter. And just a little split shot on it with a piece of plain chicken. And I just cast it way out behind the boat and let it sink. It kind of goes where it wants to. Sometimes it's deep on the turn, and then, you know, if you're making a pull, it'll pull up into the water column. It just kind of gives me good coverage here all the way across the water column. That's a good looking fish. Another one that engulfed the bait. Stop. That hook. Another one. Great color, guys. Great color on them. They're dark. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Get these back alive. All right, guys. So basically the technique here is, the strategy, the plan, whatever you want to call it, is catching suspended fish in the middle of summertime. This generally works better in deeper lakes, places where you've got 70, 80, 90, 100, 120 feet of water. There are some different dynamics that happen with where the oxygen is and the oxygen is not in some of these deeper lakes, and that puts fish in some interesting places, and it kind of varies by reservoir. A lot of it depends on the water release. But it can put these fish stacked up in certain depth elevations, and that's kind of what we're doing here. We're trying to target these fish that are in that down to about 40 feet, and they follow the bait here as it moves to deeper water, seeking cooler water. Again, this is midsummer. It's hot. It's bad hot today. It's going to be 100 degrees here in the south, 110 degree heat index, and it's pretty bad. So we got water temperatures up around 90 degrees, may even be into the 90s. I hadn't even looked at it, but once it gets this hot, this is when this kind of technique can work. So we're gonna try to catch some fish and talk a little bit about it. Guys, I just threw this free line back out with the chicken, and I see it quit falling or quit taking line. That's usually a sign there's a fish, and guess what? That's a fish. I'll lay the boat down a little bit. No point in getting a hurry coming through here. It's like they're hitting these free lines when they're falling. That may be the trick. Just let them fall through the water column. I noticed one of the other trips we were catching them, we'd throw them out and the boat would be neutral, not moving, and boom, they go to fall. How fast am I moving? About a half a mile an hour. Sometimes I just stop the boat though. That's what little reverse hook there. There we go. This one's just, oh, that's a good channel cat. That is a good big channel cat. That's as big a channel cat as I've caught in a long time. Long time. Back when I first started fishing tournaments, this is what it would take to win a catfish tournament, you'd have to have 5 of them. That's a big channel cat. I'm glad to see they're getting some size on them here again. And some anger. Get him back alive. He did not like being on display, but by granny, he's gonna get to be on display. Well, the first question most people have is going to be, what kind of bait do I use? Well, I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of different stuff will work right now. I've got chicken, I've got cut bait. If you can find some of the bait fish that are schooled up in the lake you're in, whether it be threadfin, gizzard shad, blueback, alewife, something like that, those work great too, because those are the schools of bait that are in here, but they're feeding on a lot of stuff. I'm hesitant to use chicken simply because these fish are not feeding on the bottom where the mussels are. They're kind of targeting some other stuff, so I kind of prefer cut bait in these situations. But we've caught fish on chicken doing this, and there have been tens of thousands of fish caught on chicken doing this, so it works too. So a lot of different stuff. I haven't had really good luck with bluegill, caught fish with them, but it's not one of the premier ones. But pretty much any cut bait that's native to the waters that you're fishing, it'll work. All right, guys, I got 2 rods going off. Oh. Got one on the other side. I think he's still hooked up, unless he swam into this line. We'll get to him in a second. Good fish. This on the down line. Element net cam action going on here. Go. Hey, baby. Come here, baby. Boom. Oh, bad captain, bad captain. Boom. Got him. Now let's see if that other rod's still going. He may have swam over and hit that line. Take a look at it here in a second. Get this one in the boat. Cut bait fish, good eater size fish. I'm just keeping them to eat today. This would be the size. Good looking blue cat. Him back alive. Now, some people ask, what's the magic depth? That's going to vary where you're fishing at, to be perfectly honest. You know, fishing the other day, one of the videos at sunrise, fish were higher in the water column. They were anywhere from 10 to maybe 20 feet. As that sun gets up, bait starts pushing deeper, so do the fish. And that's when you can start catching them down 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet deep. I've been up here fishing with Mac Byram, the previous owner of this boat, and watched him catch fish with sand rigs on the bottom in 100 feet of water. So it's going to vary. You kind of have to pay attention to your sonar, you know, put baits at various depths, and then from there kind of figure out what's working and where the fish are feeding at. Boom, there goes a rod. That's a down rod. Hooked up. By the way, these are the new Catfish Pro glow-in-the-dark fishing rods. No batteries, no black lights, nothing funky. They just glow. And they work for catching feisty fish. That one really, really was feisty. The Catfish Pro reel. This is one of their 600 CTS reels. Boom, feisty channel cat. I'll tell you what, these channel catfish have been amazingly aggressive and good sized fish. I am happy with our channel cat. So I got something hitting on that chicken I just threw back out. Good channel cat. Doink. Keep going. Let's see if that baby's on there. Yep. Hooked up. Hooked up. If we'd had another angler on here, we could have doubled up. It's feeling a little heavier. Feeling bluesy. Little blues traveler fish here. Come on. Heck yeah. We'll take them. This is a free line. Just out the back again. Split shot. Just to keep it below the surface. And these are medium action Catfish Pro rods, by the way. I've had medium heavies on the boat for a while. They make these in mediums. I love them. They're perfect for this kind of fishing. Perfect for this kind of fishing. I'm gonna work this one over to this side. Make landing him a little bit better. Just enough for a good hook set. Ooh, quick release right there at the boat. Perfect. Perfect. I was worried he was deep hooked, but he wasn't, so that's good. Another blue. We're on them. Something's starting to pull on this one, and that's a very large bait too. We'll see if that fish can even eat that bait. That's a big bait right there. I may pull back on it. Hang on. Let me get this one. That's all I'm doing with free line. Casting them out, letting them sink. I'm gonna see if this fish is on here. Maybe swimming off with it. I don't know if he's big enough to eat that bait. He's probably had the tail end of it. That's a big one. He did not get it. But yeah, guys, the free lines, they're just kind of in the water column, wherever they're at. And the fish eat them or they don't. I'm gonna downsize this bait just a little bit. I think that one might be a little bit on the large side. Yeah, with that, a little bit smaller. See if we can get something to hit that one. I got chicken on that side on the free line, and this one is cut bait. Bang. Boom. There's a down line, got him. Getting a couple good hits. Suspended line, free line. We're getting hit. This one, I don't remember what bait it was on. Tight. The old element net cam going. Boom, in the net. Pretty sure that one was a cut bait. Pretty sure. Good fish, good one. Another good color, good eater size. They're loaded up in here. Never lie. Free line, free line, free line, chicken. Free line, chicken. It's a heavier fish. Heavier fish. I like the medium action rod. Some of y'all gonna ask what kind of rods, what kind of gear, what kind of tackle. You don't need super heavy tackle for this. This one feels like he's wrapped. I like the medium action rods. I like a little limber tip, especially on the suspended lines underneath the boat. I like just giving them a little resistance. Some people kind of like, you know, striper rods work. Yes, striper rods will work. I like a little more resistance just to set the hook. I'm using circle hooks, by the way, Catfish Pro circle hooks, 5/0. Nothing super big. They'll catch any fish we got out here. And plenty for the size bait. I'm using somewhat smaller baits. We tried some bigger baits on previous trips, and we got a couple of bites, but it's like the fish couldn't take the bait. So I don't know, and it may be too, they're just keying on this smaller stuff that's out here. So that could be part of it. I don't know, but this one may have hit fish. Looks like he may have really ate that. Let's get him netted. Thanks to our sponsor Element today with the Element Net Cam. We are using their hydration supplements big time in this weather. Boom, in the net. Yeah, guys, and these good looking fish. Yeah, in this weather, dude, it's tough. Staying hydrated's key out here. It's the double-edged sword of being out here. You can catch a lot of fish like this, but the weather's miserable. We got no wind. It's tough. But good looking blue cat. Nice eater sized fish. There's a ton of these in here. This one came on chicken. Let's get it back in the water. All right, guys, there's another one. It's a fun bite. This stuff is fun catching them this way suspended, because they usually slam the rods down pretty good, and they're trying to get away. They got a lot of deep water around them. They got a lot of places to go. The time to catch them is now, when it's 100 degrees, 110 degrees. And, you know, you got to, it takes a toll on you. As a matter of fact, I'm getting hot standing here with the sun beating down on me. You know, I wear these hooded shirts, you know, stay hydrated. I'll probably go through, depending on how long I'm out here, at least a half gallon of water out here. With the Element added to it, and then you know, I'll drink another half gallon of water with a supplement like Element in there after this. So when you're out here this long, you're sweating continuously. That's good. It keeps you, you know, keeps your mind in the game and keeps you cooled off. But yeah, you got to do what you can to protect yourself. Bimini top on the boat, another plus. So we're catching them, we're picking at them, and we'll see if we can get a couple more. Maybe 2 rods going. Definitely got that one going. These are both down lines. Hey, it may be just this one fish got into another line. We'll see. That's probably what happened. He probably swam out there wanting to eat another bait and then got into this one. Nice fish, nice fish. Got another big channel cat. Oh, it's a big channel cat. Oh, Lord. We had one of these the other day, guys. Amazing channel cats. We don't get them like this anymore. These are the ones that we used to have to catch to win tournaments. You'd have to have 5 of them, and they're hard to come by nowadays with the blue cats in here, but that's a good one. It's a good looking fish. On a cut bait, suspended. All right, guys, there's another fish. We're just picking and poking away at them. Another shout out to Wind Rider for the shirts. These are the hooded shirts. Again, guys, if you're out here fishing in this stuff, protect yourself. I've got a bimini top on here, which is really nice. You can duck into that, but when you're out here working the deck, working the area, working the rods, having some protection. This one comes with a little thingy around your face here to keep even more sun off of you. And yeah, get some clothing that protects you out here. Sunscreen works, but I like having the clothing as an additional barrier to all this stuff. And there's links to all this stuff down in the description. So we're gonna keep drifting up through here, see if we can poke another one. This free line may have a fish. It does. It does. This is actually a cut bait on this free line. It's interesting. You catch them out of 20, 30, 40 feet of water, and then you get one that is probably in 10 or 12 feet of water. It's why I like putting these free lines out. Started doing this a couple years ago, and you will pick off some fish. Sometimes they're big ones, sometimes they're little ones, and you kind of never know what you're gonna get hit on when you do that. So it's a good way to just cover the water column. This is an eater, decent fish, and this one was on cut bait. I think the other side over there has a piece of chicken on it. We picked off a couple of fish on it, and it works. It gives you coverage. Some people will put them out without any split shot on them. What's up, man? Living a dream, baby.
Oh, yeah. Sit by.
Let's see what this one looks like. I'll get a little net cam on it. Boom. Boom. He's gonna stay down. Good looking fish. Boom. Pop him in here, yes sir. Simma, sassy, simma. Ah, dang, it's hard to get a hold of. Ah. Got him, got him. Another good fish, fat, football shaped thing. I love catching these things out here. I love it. Back over. All right, here we go. I'll show you what this rig looks like. Catfish Pro circle hook on that end, on the business end, snailed on there. They're an octopus. Piece of leader material, I don't know, 12, 18 inches. Swivel, tying the leader to the main line, and then a little bitty split shot on there, just to put that bait down a little bit. And these little baits I put in there make them look like a little fishy, little perch fillet on there. A little fishy swimming through there, and all I do, cast them out behind the boat and just pull them behind me. It's a effective way to pick off some fish that are not where the other ones are. All right, y'all, I did something really stupid. I was sitting there talking to a guy, feeding out a live bait or a free line, and I let all the line go off the reel. I've never done that before, but I found the line, so I'm pulling it in. This is the backing on the line. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done, but we're basically gonna re-spool this line. That make matters even more complicated. I've got a fish on this other line over here. I don't know how much is on here. Boom, there's the end of the line. All right, let's do this. Let's deal with the fish right now. We'll put that one in the list of dumb things I've done, and boom, the fish is still there. Amazing. Hopefully he's not around the trolling motor. I'm all kinds of walkie-jawed and discombobulated. Boom, there he is. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Crazy dumb. Got him. Yeah, he's on a cut bait. Dumbest thing I've ever done fishing. But to that guy that I was talking to, you know who you are. We know each other. It's your fault that this happened. If you ever watch any of my videos, Back alive. Seriously, look at this. It's the dumbest thing I've ever done. All right, so the fish takes off with this. This is going to end badly. I will obviously have to re-spool this when I get home. Again, they must not tie these knots on really good. This was just the backing that was on this reel. Here's the deal, guys. You're not supposed to get that low onto the backing, just FYI. I have been down to the knot on my reels before. And there's when I'm tied into the main line. We will need to re-spool this one when we get home. That is for sure. There's the line onto the reel. Oh my God, there's a fish on here. There is a fish on here. There is a fish on here. Holy crap. Now that's crazy. That is the greatest catch I've ever had. The greatest turn of circumstances I ever had, I should say. There was a fish on there the whole time. Boom, got the hook out. Back alive. Unbelievable, unbelievable. All right, guys, that's the craziest thing I've had happen in a while. Completely spooled. The line went into the water. I saw the line in the water. I was like, I wonder why that fishing line's in there. And then I realized it was off my reel. Was going back to pick the line up, and then I happened to just pick it up on the other free line. Got it threaded back onto the rod, onto the reel, was bringing it in, and there's a fish on it. Sometimes things just go your way. Great day of fishing, great day of fishing. It's a hot one. We put a lot of fish in the boat. I don't even know how many that's up to. It's probably a dozen or so that we've caught. Good catching, good fishing, and it's a great way to fish. Again, stay hydrated if you're out here. Get you some clothing that protects you, like the Wind Rider stuff, and big hats, whatever, because it gets brutal out here. But it can be rewarding. As for me, I'm gonna get out of here before the boat traffic gets bad and it gets too much hotter.